But as I was reading this week, I found this article by a mom, and her name was Bumney Ladigan. I don't know which country she's from. It doesn't matter. But she wrote something. She said, "Nothing's wrong. It's just hard." And that's what she was writing about being a mom. Nothing's wrong. It's just hard. And so she would go through some things and some struggles that she was having, and she would say, "Nothing's wrong. It's just hard." And I think sometimes it probably is difficult for moms. I think sometimes it's difficult to do all the things that we think that you're supposed to do, because we put an incredible amount of pressure on you. We expect you to fix every hurt and pain that we have. And it's not just that we expect you to do that. There is this loving part of your heart that just does that. So that when we get a scrape or a hurt and we need a Band-Aid, Mom is the one who puts that on. We typically come to you and say, "What do you got to eat?" Like your only thing in life is supposed to be going around and making sure that we have what we want to eat. Like you have nothing else in this world to do except just feed us. Mostly we think moms have a GPS that is placed on everything that we own. So all we have to do is say, "Hey Mom, where's the..." And we expect that you immediately know exactly where it was and exactly where we put it, and can tell us without any hesitation exactly where we're supposed to go find it. And for you poor wives, when we leave our moms and we live with you, we expect that that same GPS just passed from our mom to you, and we can just say, "Just tell me where so-and-so is," and instantly you know. And it's also your job in life to make sure that whatever I'm supposed to wear is already clean. Because we say, "Mom, where is my whatever?" Or where is some set of clothes? And not only with all of that, we expect you to have this incredible ability to fix anything that we need fixed. And it's really difficult. And Reggie's giving me the thumbs up, so I want to stop for a second. Hang on right there. I'll be right back. Maybe. Mama, can you go fix that? All right. So, until we get that fixed, I'm back. We planned this all out just like this. So I want you to look at a passage with me. That's cool. Proverbs 31. Oh, wait a minute. No. Now we're good.
Use of this product may alter your perception of reality? Everything looks the same.
Guys, can somebody hit me with some juice? And listen, pulp, no pulp, doesn't make a difference to me. You're the ones dealing with the diaper.
Mom goggles. Have fun glamping.
What is that?
Have no idea. We got this.
Yep. I mean, think about this. The kids are older. Now they practically take care of themselves.
Nobody understands me.
We're doomed.
What did we do the last time they left us alone with the kids?
Mom goggles! Those things were so great. I mean, they helped us see things like moms see things. Whatever happened to them?
I definitely put them in a place I knew I would never forget.
Great. Where are they?
I forgot.
Computer phone. Order 2 pair of mom goggles.
Ordering 2 pairs of mom joggers.
No. Goggles. Mom goggles. You'll always be my baby.
You're so weird.
No.
Just leave me alone! I hate you!
You come back here and say that to my face, young lady.
I'm so confused on how I'm feeling. I don't even know why I'm angry, but it feels good to yell.
What you're feeling is natural. You truly are a gift from God, and I hope you know I'm always here for you.
You're the best dad in the world. I'm sorry I don't tell you that more often.
I am gonna cry like a man-child at your wedding.
Stop looking at me!
Laundry.
Look at this mess. It is literally a pigsty in here, mister. How are you going to organize your life if you can't organize your sock drawer? First, it's unmatched socks. Then, unfinished homework. Then, kicked out of school. Next, jail. How does she process this every day?
All right, one more time. Plastic bowls up top, face down, forks up, knives down, plates in the center, pots and pans we wash by hand. Now repeat it back to me.
No, I don't think the joggers make you look fat.
I've got my dad's thighs.
Don't you need the goggles?
No. I've seen your mom do this so many times. You have a great mom, you know that.
That's great. Can you hand me the barf bucket?
Nope, okay, here we go.
I got your cat out of the dryer. You're welcome.
I don't own a cat.
How do they do it?
Cats?
Moms. How do they do all of this without the goggles?
They don't need them. Moms have this God-given ability.
Yeah, it's like no matter what the circumstance, they always see the best version of what their kids can be.
Moms are a little glimpse of heaven.
It wasn't me!
Is that so hard?
So sometimes I feel like mom goggles would be a good thing to help me understand. So if you look at Psalm chapter 31, and I want to read the first verse, and then I'll go down to the 10th verse. The words of King Lemuel, an oracle that his mother taught him. Did you get that? An oracle that his mother taught him. And then in verse 10, he starts giving this description of this wonderful woman who is a great wife and a great mother. An excellent wife who can find? She is far more precious than jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her, and he will have no lack of gain. She does him good and not harm all the days of her life. She seeks wool and flax, and she works with willing hands. She is like the ships of the merchant. She brings her food from afar. She rises while it is yet night and provides food for her household and portions for her maidens. She considers a field and buys it, and with the fruit of her hands she plants a vineyard. She dresses herself with strength and makes her arms strong. She perceives that her merchandise is profitable. Her lamp does not go out at night. She puts her hands to the distaff, and her hands hold the spindle. She opens her hand to the poor and reaches out her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of snow for her household, for all her household are clothed in scarlet. She makes bed coverings for herself. Her clothing is fine linen and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and when he sits among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them. She delivers sashes to the merchant. Strength and dignity are her clothing, and she laughs at the time to come. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. She looks well to the ways of her household. She does not eat the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praises her. Many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her works praise her in the gates. Now, if that were written about husbands, I'd feel a little bit insecure, because that is a woman who does absolutely everything. Those are some really high expectations, and sometimes I read that in kind of tongue-in-cheek. I wonder, since his mother gave him that oracle, if he was just trying to impress upon him that there was never going to be a woman who was good enough for him. But I don't think that's what she meant. So how do you go through this struggle of motherhood? And what are some of the struggles of motherhood? So I went through and I did a little research, and I did research on what is it that moms struggle most with. So again, I have no practical experience here, but one that kept coming up was guilt. Guilt. It was the guilt of, am I making the right decision? Did I do the right thing? Did I make the right choice? When they came to me with this problem, did I give them the right advice? Am I doing the right thing all of the time? How much TV should they watch? Should I make them quit watching TV and go outside? Should I make them quit being outside and come in and watch TV? Should I make them do homework, or maybe not do homework? How should I discipline them? How should I watch over their friends? Who's a good enough friend for my kid? Is it okay to sit down and rest for a minute, or do I have to stay busy? And there were all of these ladies who said, you know, if I sit down and rest, I feel guilty because there was something else that I was supposed to be doing. There was the struggle of parent or friend. Should I be a parent to my kid or a friend to my kid? Now, I can't speak for moms. I can only speak from dads. But you know what? I'd kind of like my kids to like me. Not too much, but a little bit. Diane always tells the boys we're the coolest parents that they have. And I think that's true. We are the coolest parents that they have. And how do you balance that sometimes? Because that's a struggle, not only for moms, but for dads. We want to be friends. We want our kids to like us. We want to interact well with our kids. You know, when they move off, we'd like them to come back and visit sometime. But at the same time, we understand that we're supposed to help discipline and mentor and train and teach them life lessons and be there when things get really tough. So I read this writer, and this is what she wrote about motherhood. Well, first, you know, here was another expectation for moms. What am I supposed to do something else? There's only one of me. Because it's like you get all of this stuff done, and then there's always something else that needs to be done, and you're like, well, I can't do absolutely everything, but sometimes as children and even as husbands, if we're not really careful, we make you feel like you're supposed to do absolutely everything. And you're right, there's only one of you, right? We have this Life 360 app, and I thought it was really cool for a while because somehow I got on there twice, so there were always two of me. And I thought that'd be really cool because sometimes you would look just to show you modern technology. I wouldn't be in the same place. And I was thinking, wouldn't that really be cool if there really was two of me? So I could go off in two different directions and to do two different things at the same time. I think sometimes moms feel like that. If there were just two of me, I could get everything done. So I read this writer, and she said, sometimes I don't enjoy motherhood very much. And I thought, that's kind of a strange statement, isn't it? Sometimes I don't enjoy motherhood very much. And I thought, as a dad, would I ever say that? You know, sometimes I just don't enjoy being a dad very much. I don't know that I don't enjoy it very much, but you know, there are some times that are more stressful and just harder than others. And I think we have to be honest and open with that. And ladies, y'all have all of these tasks that we expect. All of the time. What's everybody going to eat? Do y'all have people in your family who won't eat the same thing? I mean, bless Diane's heart, like there's a family section of a casserole, and then there's a Greg section, right? Because Greg doesn't eat cheese. So anytime she cooks something with cheese, she has to leave some part of it, enough of it, so that I can eat, because I won't eat the cheese part. You know, and then there are certain things that the boys like. You know, some of them like, one of them likes this, one of them likes that. But then you find the thing that they kind of like together. And even, can you even find time to sit down and eat? Because all of these things are going on. And does everybody have clean clothes and continual? You ever notice a thing about housework? Is that no matter what you do, it usually always gets messed up again. Like you can wash clothes and you can go in and guess what? Somebody got them dirty again, right? Or you vacuum and it doesn't stay vacuumed. Or you dust, it doesn't stay dust. You know, you have to keep doing certain things over and over again, and it looks like it's almost like continual, because every time you do it, it gets messed up and you have to do it again. And then you're trying to balance love of your children and love of your husband and responsibilities at home and the responsibilities at work and managing your career. And then even with your kids, they're like these challenges at different stages, right? So when they're little and they start crying and they can't talk yet and you don't know why they're crying, so you give them the red ball and they keep crying. So you give them the truck and they keep crying, and you give them something else and they keep crying. And you just want to look at them and say, if you would just tell me what you want, I'll get it for you. But you can't, because all they know to do is just cry. And then they grow a little older, and I don't know about how your house works, then you have the whole bedtime routine, right? It's like you would think that giving a kid a bath and putting him to bed, that's like a 5-minute job, right? That's like a 2- and 3-hour process. You know, you get them a bath, and then you get them fed, and then you get them ready, and then you go through. And some of you are at that stage, and then you get the homework stage, right? And it's like, how much is too little, and how much is too much, and do I need to ask you about it? And it reminded me of that Andy Griffith episode. You remember the Andy Griffith episode where Opie's not doing well at math? And Andy convinces himself that if Opie doesn't do well at math, that could keep him out of college. So now he's not going to let Opie play football anymore. No going outside and playing. Every day after school, you come in and you do your math. And Opie turned into this miserable kid because all of a sudden his whole life was doing math. And y'all remember that episode? Because the teacher said, hey, Opie, you can go play football today. And Andy was like, you can't. And he's miserable. And you try to balance that out, because we want our kids to be well balanced, and you're challenged with all of those things, and then they grow up and they move out. Are you supposed to check on them, or are you not supposed to check on them? Do they still need advice? Do they not need advice? You know, do you still need to buy clothes for them occasionally, or you still need to do that? And so you're trying to manage all of those things, and no matter where you are in that stage of motherhood, there's always something going on. So with all of that happening, I decided I would preach about imperfect moms. So this is my message to you today. I'm going to tell you it's okay to be imperfect. You don't have to be the perfect mom. Now, to do that, I needed a biblical example, right? Because this is a sermon. So I thought, where am I going to get a biblical example of an imperfect mom? So I decided we'll go back and look at the very first mom, right? Eve. Now, Eve is kind of an interesting case study. There is no book, what to expect when you're expecting. There is no book like how to raise a strong-willed child. Do you ever think about Eve? She couldn't go and call her mom and ask her how her mom did something. Do you ever think about the fact when the kids got sick, she didn't have a doctor to take them to? Do you ever think about when it got time to figure something out, she had to figure it out on her own because there was nobody to ask for advice? So she was the perfect mom, right? Well, you don't have to get very far. Genesis 1, Genesis 2, what did we get? Oh, he created woman. That was good. What do we get by Genesis 3, just one chapter later? She makes a colossal mistake. I mean, this just isn't like any other. This is like a colossal mistake. She makes a mistake that plagues and impacts all of humanity for the rest of their known existence. Okay, it's not like she forgot to put, dishwashing liquid in the dishwasher, or like she washed 2 colors of clothes together and the red and the white and it turns pink. This was a mistake. Eve in the garden. At the very beginning, the first woman made a colossal mistake. Now, thankfully, through Jesus, there is forgiveness, right? So we'll rejoice in that. Not putting too much blame on her. Her husband was to blame too, so I'm not putting it all on Eve. But she made a mistake, and God granted her forgiveness. Well, if you can start out with the first mom making a mistake, I think that ought to take the pressure off of you. It ought to be okay to make a mistake. So I don't want you to feel like you have to go through life being perfect. Now, we can look at it this way. So we could just ask this. So would every perfect dad stand up? Every dad who's never made a mistake. I mean, every absolutely perfect one. You never, ever made any kind of parenting mistake in your life. Now, ladies, if you will look around, there is not one man standing up in this auditorium. Okay, if they can't stand up because they're perfect, they shouldn't expect you to stand up and be perfect either. So they have to grant you some forgiveness and some patience and some understanding. And in some of those places where you feel like all the pressure's on you and you've got to do everything right, why don't you just stop sometimes and look at him and say, okay, big boy, what are you getting ready to do to help? All right? Now, there's something else about moms. Now, here's another thing about that. Have you ever heard this? What did you do? Have you ever heard, from the child's standpoint, have you ever heard, what did you do? I heard that. Multitude of times, I think. If you have somebody to say, what did you do? The very last person I want to say that to me is God. What did God say to Eve? What did you do? Like you didn't know, but what did you do? So, if God was able to forgive Eve, then I think we can find forgiveness for you if you did something that somebody has to say, now what did you do? Now, we all, and I know you moms, you want to raise perfect families, right? Where all of your siblings get along. How did that work out with Eve? Did all her kids get along? Did she build this incredibly great family where everybody treated everybody with respect? They went out and they played well together and they did things well together and they acted right. Well, no, her family history doesn't look that great, does it? Her boys, at least the first two, are pretty far from ideal. I mean, if you don't remember the story, the older one killed the younger one because the younger one was more righteous. I know we want to have good families. And moms, I know you want all your kids to get along. And we want children to behave themselves properly. And we feel pressure to do that. But you know what? Sometimes we have to just stop and realize that sometimes kids just make decisions, don't they? And it's not a reflection on you if your kid makes a bad one. We want to treat them in a way that's godly. We want to train them in a way that they make good decisions. We want to train them in a way that they grow up to be godly men and godly women, that they want to be great workers in God's kingdom. But you know, you start off with the very first mom, and she didn't start out with a perfect family. Now, how about her husband? How about Adam? Well, he had issues. We don't know very much about Adam, by the way. We know he was the first man. We know he was in the garden with Eve when she sinned because she gave him fruit to eat and he ate it. We know he hid himself from God, but it's not very much said about Adam outside of that. In fact, kind of the words you get from Adam are kind of like this. Hey, God, thank you for making her, right? Bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh, you'd be called woman if she was taken out of man, and he seemed pretty happy that God created woman, so that was pretty good, right? Thank you for making her. What's the very next thing almost that Adam says? Thank you for making her, but it was all her fault. Right? He put the blame squarely on Eve. Now, was Eve to blame some? Yes, she was to blame some, but so was Adam. He was with her and he ate. And when you get to the New Testament, it doesn't say death came from a woman. It said death came from a man because of what Adam did. But when you stop and you think about who Adam was and who Eve was and how that worked, well, I'm not sure that Adam was just all the spiritual leader that he needed to be. So you go through life, and moms aren't perfect, and wives aren't perfect, and dads aren't perfect, and husbands aren't perfect. So we start meshing these lives together, and what we find out in days like Mother's Day or Father's Day or marriage or parenting is that sometimes we need to help one another. So I thought one thing you needed to do today is you need to tell your mom first. You need to say, hey Mom, I love you, if she's here for you to do that. And then I wrote down some things you can do today. All right, so you can write these down, make some notes. First thing, it's okay to tell her she's imperfect. So can you do that today? Just say, hey, it's okay not to be perfect. All right? Now, don't you go around telling that. Now, Greg said that you wasn't all that in a bag of chips. Don't know, nothing like that. All right? She's lovely. But you can say, as far as the pressure to feel like you have to be perfect all the time, I just want you to know that I'm taking the pressure off of you for that. I don't want you to feel like you have to be perfect. I don't want you to feel like you have to handle everything by yourself. And if you come to me and you say you need help, I will help you, and I will even look for opportunities to help without you asking. Now, isn't that a really weird thing? If you were to actually look for ways to help your mom or your spouse without having to be asked first. Okay, guys, did y'all write that down? That's big. All right? So, I love you no matter what. Take something off her plate. Okay, take something off her plate today. I don't know what it is. Take something, I mean, not like when y'all go out to eat, do not eat off her plate. All right? Don't y'all take this out of context. So y'all going to go out to eat and you're just going to reach over and start taking things off her plate. Do not do that. Right? But as far as the plate of things that she has to do in life, why don't you take something off of her plate? Now, husbands, I'm going to talk bad about you for just a second, so just hang on, okay? This is husbands and dads talk. I'm not going to ask you, do you help with, and you fill in the blank of something around the house that you help with. Okay, because here's the deal. She doesn't need somebody to help her with something. She needs a partner to help her tackle things that need to be handled. Okay, you see the difference in that? It's not just her responsibility to get that stuff done. She doesn't need a helper, she needs a partner. So you be a partner in helping things, because guess what? The two of you created that household, and the two of you can figure out how to run that household. All right? But you both got responsibilities. So you be a partner today, and you give her some time. Now, I don't mean time alone, okay? Because you have to ask her which one she wants. Now, there may be some moms in here who say, I'll tell you what, if I could just have 30 minutes just to chill, to relax, to read a book, to do nothing, 30 minutes would just be great, right? And that may be people with younger children instead of older children, or maybe some of you older children just totally out of control and they need a break from you too, all right? And it may not be alone time. If you say, I need some time, what a mom in here might say is, you know what, I really would like for us to spend some family time doing something, because we don't ever get to do anything as a family because we're running in 9,000 different directions all the time. So don't say alone time or together time. You ask her what kind of time she needs, and there is just a slim possibility she needs both. All right? So if she needs both, you find time to give her both. Time alone, time together. And the last thing, and this shouldn't be hard for you, if you're a child, tell your mom you love her. And if you're a husband, you tell the mom of your children that you love her and what a great job she's doing. See, I think through life a lot of times we go in and we just expect that everybody else wants us to be perfect. And sometimes I think we just have to step back and say, you know what? It's okay to realize that we struggle through this sometimes. And the way that works is two people working together. The way that works is children who love and respect and care for their mom. And if you're here today and you're a mom, I hope you have a great day. You know, I hope you have a wonderful day. You know, I know some of you will struggle through today because of moms who aren't here, or moms who weren't good moms. Remember that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, be a godly influence to those around you. So I asked in my class this morning, I said, if y'all going to say anything about moms, what would you say? So I got two people that said something. One is a quote from a song that I've never heard. Most mothers ought to qualify for sainthood. That's probably pretty true. All right? And then somebody said, mothers are the anchor of the home. You know, and I think that's pretty true too. Mothers are anchors of the home. And I want you to know that I appreciate you for who you are. And I know God appreciates you for who you are. And I want you to go through this day. We want to honor you. And we want you to also understand that just like we all need forgiveness from Jesus, we all need forgiveness from one another. This hasn't really been a sermon about coming to Jesus, but in a way it very much is. Because there is one who loves me no matter what I do. There is one who will rescue me no matter where I go. And there is one that I know I can always count on. And that is my Savior. Because He will always be there to forgive and love and give me support. If you don't have that kind of relationship with Jesus, I hope you find it. And I hope you find it today. If you need to respond to that while we stand and sing.
Restore my spirit, Lord, I need restored. My heart is weary, please help me, dear Lord. I stand in need of more strength from your word. Renew my love, rebuild my oh, restore my soul. Revive the fire, Lord, deep in my soul. Stir my desire to work in your fold. Light in my heart, dear God, your zeal grown cold. Renew my love, rebuild my oh, restore my soul. Renew my courage, Lord, it needs restored. My cup is empty, refill it, dear Lord. Replace all doubts and fear with faith so bold. Renew my love, rebuild my faith, oh, restore my soul. Renew my love, rebuild my faith, oh, restore my soul.
Hey, just a couple of quick things. Sunday, we are going to honor our seniors. So please, please be here for that. And we're going to send them off with farewell. Not really. We're hoping they'll stay around. But also, there are some sign-up sheets in the back. And if you are 7th through 12th grade and you did not get a youth calendar to stick on your refrigerator to tell you all the things that are going on this summer, please see me so I can give you one so you do not miss any deadlines. Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there this morning. I have a thing here from Georgia Goldtrap, and if it's okay, I'll put it on the bulletin board. It's got a picture of her when she was a baby and then one now, and she's smiling from ear to ear in both of them. So, and it says, I traded my bonnet, my baby bonnet, for a cap and gown. And it said, celebrate my graduation with a picnic at Clarksville Highway under the church pavilion, Memorial Day, Monday, May the 28th. It'll start at 3 p.m. and go to whenever. And she emphasized there the Goldtraps are usually the last ones to leave anyway. So, everybody's welcome. With any questions, call Murray Marie or text. And I'll put this up on the bulletin board, and there's a phone number on there if they want to call. Talked to Miss Hazel this morning, Hazel DeShields. She's had surgery on both of her eyes, and she said it's doing good, except she can't see very well yet. So that will get better, I think, Miss Hazel. So, and my wife is doing some better. She's